San Diego State's athletic director has confirmed the department hired a rape survivor and victim's advocate to speak to the football team last fall, shortly after a 17-year-old girl reported being raped by some players. KPBS reporter Alexander Nguyen has a look at the sexual violence training that all SDSU athletes go through.
I can only do so much. I'm one person.
Brenda Tracy has been giving talks about her experience as a rape survivor. She was gang raped by several football players at Oregon State University in 1998. She sees a lot of similarities between her case and the allegations at San Diego State.
Looking back on it, the more I think about it, and as details come out, and the more I think about the similarities of the story, I don't get it, because I speak very specifically about the people who do nothing.
According to the civil complaint filed in San Diego Superior Court, the then 17-year-old teenager, identified only as Jane Doe, was taken into the back room of this house and repeatedly assaulted by 3 men, identified in the lawsuit as Matt Ariza, Xavier Leonard, and Nalanpa'a Iwaliko. None have been charged with a crime. The district attorney is still reviewing the case. SDSU Athletic Director John Wicker said Tracy was brought in as part of an enhanced training athletes get.
As I mentioned earlier, we've got all of the programming around prevention of sexual assault, upstander training, party etiquette. We also do leadership training. We do financial planning, all of those types of things.
All students athletes at San Diego State go through a sexual violence training during the fall semester. The training is provided by the Center for Community Solutions, San Diego's only rape crisis center. Verna Griffin-Taper is the organization's chief executive officer.
We have curriculum that we go through, and it's what is consent, some role playing, some discussions, breaking out in smaller groups. So hopefully the athletes have the opportunity to really take a deep dive, really self-reflect, look at past situations.
She says the training includes breaking down the power dynamics and bystander intervention so that when things go wrong, athletes have the necessary tools to speak up.
If you can't intervene safely, how to go access help and not put yourself at risk. And the other part is, if you learn about something later where somebody's been harmed or needs help, then what do you do?
The training with the Center for Community Solutions was brought to SDSU by baseball coach Mark Martinez about 5 years ago. He was first exposed to the training when CCS did a session with his son's Little League team.
It was eye-opening for obviously the parents, and then it was very eye-opening for our young guys. They're not exposed to that stuff at that age. And so that's when I thought, well, we need to do something. We need to find a way to start educating our guys that are currently on campus about domestic violence and date rape and those kinds of things.
So we went in and talked with him and said, we won't train the team unless we can train you. And he said, absolutely, we'll do that.
Martinez says he noticed a difference in his players after the training. He says they are more compassionate.
And it's not just about relationships, outside of the baseball stadium. It's also within the clubhouse and understanding, how to communicate to people the right way.
Still, despite the training, 3 former San Diego State football players stand accused of raping a teenage girl. Wicker got emotional when asked about that at the news conference on Monday.
Again, one of our pillars is to create great human beings. And it's hard when the training you provide may not have been enough.
Tracy says all she can do is tell them how her sexual assault affected her.
But then they also have to live with the consequences sometimes of those decisions as well.
Alexander Nguyen, KPBS News.